Hey guys, so I was watching this video while I was editing and I realized that this video could use a commentary. Now originally I wasn't going to put a commentary over this, but while editing I realized that it could use some. But I got this little puppy over here in the morning, and I know y'all love to stare at my face, but I don't want y'all to have to stare at this the whole video. So I'm going to try to make my face pop up the least amount of times that I can throughout this commentary. Only pop up at the important places. I figured that, we could use some important tips throughout the video. Other than that, everything else I'm probably just going to talk over it. I just want to try something different just to give you guys better tips, have my face in it, showing you guys what I mean when I'm talking in the commentary. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'm gonna go put on a hat real quick and I'll see y'all in the workout footage. Alright guys, so let's just get into this video. First thing we do before any workout is warm up. Now, we've been taught through elementary school and basically every gym class that you should be doing static stretching, right? Where we would like all get together, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. But it's proven, that's proven that that actually increases your chances of getting hurt, and it decreases your performance. We don't want to decrease our performance because we want to be able to squat as much weight as we can for however many reps, and we don't want to get hurt, right? So if you were in like marching band like me, you know that we got together in blocks, we just sat there and we like stretched, whatever. I always thought that was ineffective. So save the long holding static stretches where you're sitting there counting, whatever. Save that for after the workout, or save that for some other time in the day. Don't get me wrong, that's important because you want to have flexibility, you want to work on mobility and stuff like that, but you should have its own time for that. You shouldn't do that before the workout. Before the workout, you should be doing dynamic stretches or dynamic movements. So what you want to do is you want to have dynamic movements that have similar patterns or mimic the exercise that you're going to do or the activity that you're going to partake in, right? So what you'll see me doing here, the first thing I did some kettlebell swings, right? So why am I doing kettlebell swings? The kettlebell swings, they mimic me driving my hips forward, right? Locking out of the squat, I'm going to be having to drive my hips forward, right? That's why I did the kettlebell swings, just to work on that. And then after that, we did some goblet squats. So this is mimicking the squat, right? Because I'm getting into that depth, I'm hitting the depth, I'm coming back out, and then I'm also having the weight in front because it's a goblet squat, and I'm going to be doing front squats today too. So I want to mimic squat and front squat, right? So that's why we did the goblet squat with the kettlebell. Went pretty light, did not go heavy. And after that, we did some walking like leg pulls. So what this does, it dynamically stretches the hamstrings because I'm not sitting there holding that position, right? I'm walking and I'm pulling up. First, you get the leg as high as it will go on its own, and then you use your arms to pull it a little bit. And that's what I basically did right here for a few sets back and forth, right? And then after that, we did some, they're called Spider-Man lunges because you're basically hitting the Spider-Man pose at like the end of each rep is a Spider-Man pose or whatever. But yeah, what that does, it opens up the hips, right? And you're stretching your adductors and abductors, and you're opening up your hips. So those are helpful for that. But see, like you're dynamically doing the exercise, right? You're not sitting there holding a lunge. You're not sitting there holding the stretch for 10 seconds or however long you usually hold a stretch in gym class or whatever that you've been taught before. It's proven that that will actually decrease your performance and it will increase your chance of getting hurt. And we really don't want that when we're in the gym lifting weights. So after doing the Spider-Man lunges, which you see right here, we went on and we stretched our shoulders. We opened up our rotator cuffs. A lot of people don't stretch their upper body when they're working their lower body. Since I'm squatting, it makes sense to stretch your legs, right? But think about it. In the squat, your upper body plays a key role. You want to stretch your back. You want to, like, I think before every workout, you just want to dynamically stretch everything or do movements that incorporate the whole body. Because think about it, when you're squatting, your upper body, you have to keep your back tight, you have to keep your chest up, and you also need to have good shoulder mobility. So in the squat, if you don't have good shoulder mobility, or if you haven't stretched or whatever, you're gonna have a hard time getting your shoulders to rotate out and keeping your elbows like underneath the bar, right? So you want to stretch that out and make sure your upper body is as loose as your lower body, so you can get into that squat position. And also for like the front squat, you want to be able to keep your elbows up and everything, right? So if you have some sort of tightness up here, you're not going to be able to squat with good form, and you won't be able to squat as much weight. So what I'm doing here are some med ball like throws, which kind of mimics deadlifting and basically pushing the hips forward, which you're gonna do at the lockout position of a squat anyways. So what I'm trying to work on with this is hip extension and basically my posterior chain. Even though we're not gonna be doing deadlifts, your posterior chain plays a factor in squats because, you know, you're squatting down, your hamstrings are gonna come into effect, and then you're gonna have to push out of the squat, right? Alright, so the first warm-up set of the squat with just the bar. So I love my form here, everything looks good, my back looks straight, I'm hitting parallel, going kind of slow, moving the knees out. One thing I've noticed is I don't have great ankle mobility, as you can see here. A lot of people when they squat, you'll see their ankle like go like that all the way. Mine just go like my legs when they go forward, it's only like that much. Other people, they'll go a lot farther forward and they can have a closer stance. For me, I have to like spread my legs out a little bit because I don't have that good of ankle mobility. Alright, so the second warm-up set I'm not as happy with because here, as you can see, when I'm going to the bottom, I'm kind of like relaxing and letting go, and you can see like there's like a dip or a curve in my lower back, which is something that I don't want to have. I want to have a straight back the whole time. I just want to hit parallel, so I want to look like this, but right now I have like in this set I kind of look like that instead of this, so I'm trying to fix that. Alright, so this is my first working set. So you can tell the theme of this first working set is speed and just trying to get the bar, get out of the squat, go down into the squat as fast as I can just to work on that speed and get some rep work in with somewhat of a light weight. It's 135. Like, weight is relative to the person. So for some people that might be heavy, for some people that might be light. For me, that's light. I just wanted to work on the speed and the reps. Alright, so the next working set, I added 50 pounds on top of the 135, and this one, I'm gonna take it a little bit slower. So this one, I'm feeling every rep, going slow, getting into the depth, and then coming back out. And we do this for one more set before we go on to the next exercise. And as you can see on this, like this set of squats, I was also having that lower back kind of curve, is because since I was going slow and controlled at the bottom position, I would sit there for a little bit and hold it just to get that stretch and just to hit that depth. And what I noticed is I wasn't keeping tight, I was letting go, which is something, you know, I shouldn't be doing, but I kept doing that because it just felt normal and natural. But you want to keep your midsection tight, which is important, intra-abdominal pressure. Next, I wanted to do front squats, right? So I'm going to be showing you guys two different like ways to hold the bar. So the first way is this way, is the cross grip. So the bar is basically sitting on your deltoids and you have your hands crossed over. The way to think about this is, if you were in marching band, remember like the set position where you keep your elbows high and you basically want the bar placed across the deltoids, and then you want to cross your arms over. But when you're going into the squat, you always want to keep your elbows up. If your elbows drop down, you're gonna curve in, and the weight's gonna make you fall forward. You want to keep your chest up and have the bar sit right here, and then cross over. Or you could go like this too. I've done that a few times just to get the position right. The next one is the clean grip. So this is the grip a person would use when they're doing cleans. The same concept as cross grip, except this plays into factor like having good wrist mobility. I don't really like using that because sometimes I feel like there's more pressure on my wrist, which I don't want, and you're still keeping your elbows high like with the cross grip. So same concept, just different mobility issues, I guess, because with the other grip there's no mobility limitations, but with the the clean grip there is. Alright, so on to leg press. What you're gonna see here is me using two different foot placements, right? The higher foot placement, so think of this as like the place where you place your feet placement mat, whatever. And you want so if this is the mat, you want your feet up here, like on the upper outsides, so you can target your hamstrings more. Or like for me, I feel that in my hamstrings more, right? So you want to have it out there. You'll see that in the next clip probably, where my feet are out here. That's to target my hamstrings. Now if I want to target more of my quads, I want to bring my legs down kind of towards the middle and have it like right there. It'll focus more on my quads. Now I know many people are scared of this exercise, the leg press, because of all the internet videos of people getting hurt, their knees like coming back, basically people destroying their legs. But that only happens because most of the time those people are like usually fooling around. And alright, so as I was saying before the video, or my camera like turned off, so there's like a time limit to where it turns off after a certain time limit even though I'm recording. So what I was saying is, you'll notice that there's always a slight little bend in your knees even when your legs are straight, right? So you don't want to lock your knees out to where you hyperextend your knee, but you want to do it to where it's naturally straight. Now, having said that, after this we went on to a superset of leg extensions and lying leg curls, right? And for those exercises, what I really focused on was getting like the volume, so the reps, feeling it, and holding, so like actually getting the stretch, the hold, whatever. And that's what we did, and that was like the last exercise for legs. After that we went on and we did some abs. So the key to abs, to any ab movement, whether you're doing leg curls, like leg raises, or you're doing crunches, or you're doing obliques, whatever part you're targeting, upper, lower, obliques, whatever. I think the main thing that a lot of people miss or a lot of people don't do is something that I found is when, well, I watched the video on this of how you're supposed to like pull in your belly button and, you know, activate your transverse abdominis when you're doing leg raises. And what I found is, like, when I do that for any ab exercise, not just leg raises, it activates my abs a lot more. So you want to, when you activate your abs, you want to do it from down there. You want to pull in your belly button like you're going into cold water, and you want to activate that transverse abdominis before you try to flex anything else or work anything else out. The transverse abdominis is not really something you can see because it's like this flat muscle that sits in, you know, the back of your midsection, or it's one of the core muscles. It acts like a weightlifting belt because it like wraps around, and you want to activate that first before you go into like a crunch or a raise. And another thing with crunches, I like to be very explosive on my crunches. So I'll like take a minute so after every single rep you want to reset and you want to focus on that transverse of abdominis activation first. After every single rep I reset, and then the next thing I do on my crunches is I'll be very explosive. So I'll like explosively crunch up, because I feel like when I do that, I activate my abs a lot better than going like slowly. I like to go kind of explosively and seriously like crunch down. I feel like it helps me. I don't know, you gotta figure out what like you like better for you. But other than that, guys, that's it for the video. I'm just gonna end it after the ab workout. Make sure that if you like learn something from the video, to like the video and share the video just so other people out there can see the video. But make sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos, and hit that notification bell just so you know whenever I put up a video, because I'm not very good with timing my videos at a certain day every day, like have a certain exact specific time and specific day of when I'm going to upload. So make sure to hit that notification bell just so you can see, because I might post at midnight, I might post at 6 p.m, I might post at 9 a.m, I don't know. But anyways, I'll see you guys in that next video. Bye!